Hi, John. This is Ashton and my good friend Carolina. Okay, I don't do videos like this. I'm not like this, but this is just a moment. Carolina, is there a way we can get the glass on the
Oh, here.
screen? I just, and can read the card if you could. If you could read the card somehow, and I'll talk. So I'm just, I wanted to have a nice evening, so I thought I would go with the two people who were with me at Percival's grave to bury him. My maid Carolina here, and my tenant and now driver and personal chef, I guess, Josh. And we're just going to go to the Olive Garden and hang out. And I guess this doctor had, I don't even know, I put this picture together to try to figure out which was the best photo to do these little Limoges pieces that I was going to give to everybody, including my parents, but now obviously not my parents, because we're going to do this thing with them to show them what they missed in the Camelot that I created here in Dallas. And this is just an example. I don't know who this person is off the top of my head. Oh, of course I do. Oh, of course I do. And to where they got this photo, and these, gave me this beautiful glass that I wasn't expecting just on a Saturday night when I'm going to go to, Olive Garden with my, two friends that I have here that were with me at Percival's grave. And it's just such a beautiful moment. And, my mother sent me some flowers that, like our relationship, have now withered and died. And, I'll throw them away. And this glass with this beautiful photo that I was never expecting, I'll try my absolute best to keep it forever and do something beautiful with it, with my friends that we all come up with, and I'll look at it every day, and think about this beautiful gesture that one of Percival's doctors, did for him, and got him to the place where we have applied to the Guinness Book of World Records, because he might be the longest lived bulldog ever with a glioma, at 33 months when most live 6 to 12, and they've all celebrated that. They've all sent me, I have a book that I'm going to read with Carolina and Daniel, and I think Josh will read it, and it'll be this beautiful moment. And I have these cards where every person who saw Percival, even people who I don't know personally myself, they signed the card and they wrote a note. And I have not been able to go through all of this, but there's this little pile here of stuff, of things, cards, words, a book, a mug, beautiful things that will endure and will preserve Percival's memory. My friend Jared, who we were talking about the other day, you said don't meet with him, but I said, I would do it anyway. He came over, and I didn't expect this at all, but he came over with, he's a commercial artist. He's very successful. I showed him and his wife, and his house, and they have a baby, and they've cultivated the garden. I sent you in the picture, but he came over and he took Percival's paw, and he made this beautiful thing. This paw print, this beautiful painting that I'll have forever. And it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm not good at these videos, but like this will endure. And I'm going to take, the person who helped me select the photo to use was a veteran who had 11 dogs named Pepper, and he just kept the line going, and he has this whole training technique, the Pepper, technique that he uses, and he helped me pick the photo that I'm going to use to create my little Limoges box, my little Limoges model, and the base, will be the same color as this, beautiful piece of art that one of my closest friends in the world, I've known Jared for 10 years, we're going to make, these sunglasses together to celebrate Texas, because we are both Texas men, and we both are big fans of The Godfather, and and Josh is call Minnie, call Minnie. So we're just kind of hanging out on a Saturday night. And, one thing, Jared also has a very difficult relationship with his father, like I do with mine. And, he never even asks me about my dad. He just assumes, my parents are complete pieces of shit because, he's been friends with me for 10 years and he's never met them because they've never showed up one time to see my life here, that I've created in Texas. They've never showed up one time. And because they've never showed up, Jared just kind of knows that they're just terrible people, like bad people. Jared wears a thing that, matters to him around his neck, a piece of sacred geometry. This is, a piece of sacred geometry to me. It's the Vesica Pescis. It represents, Avalon, the, mythological origin of the, Round Table and King Arthur, and obviously, Percival, and it just means, so much to me, like my, family legacy, in my belt buckle. And it's just, in The Godfather, Vito Corleone says, a man who doesn't spend time with his family is not a man. And my father has not showed up for me to see me in my life, except for one time in New York in 20 years when he couldn't even take care of the dog and keep the dog from getting attacked. He couldn't take care of his family. He couldn't protect his family. He never spent time with his family. Doesn't spend time with his family right now. I've gotten no visit, nothing that will endure, from my people that I love so much. And, I always keep my switchblade, my blade of honor that I keep next to my belt buckle when I wear my Avalon necklace. And, I had the knife custom done, and I actually made the sheath with my own two hands because I wanted to do something cool and, put the cherry on it and say I made it, and I did. It's the only leather thing that I've ever done. It was very hard to do, but took me a very long time. I messed up a lot. I had to redo it, but I'm very proud of myself. I kept doing it, and I carry it with me every day. I always have my friends and my business and my love and my buckle and my blade and my my little piece of gold. And my family just doesn't understand anything that I have here, and they've never bothered to show up and care. And that's why I'm inclined to follow this process that I've decided to follow with you. And this just all happened very impromptu, and I just wanted to kind of document my life on a Saturday night. Just a doctor sent me a thing that I'll treasure forever for my beloved bulldog. I have my tenant and close friend, and driver and chef, and my maid and close friend, and very close friend and her kid, and we're just going to go to dinner and hang out with the dog, and just like a good old night in Dallas, Texas. And there's been so many of these nights for a decade, and not one of them, not a single one of them spent with my parents, where they could just see all of this in this life that I have here, this Camelot that I created. But I'm going to do what that veteran said in my own way. As he created more Peppers, I will create more Camelots. I had when JFK, Dallas, Jackie Kennedy is, my ideal, beauty personally, when she had her Camelot, and Dallas took her Camelot away. It took her Camelot away, and she said the most noble thing based on a play that her husband, this obscure random play that her husband liked. One line she said, don't ever let it be forgot, that for one brief shining moment there was Camelot. And I may have butchered that, but she lost her Camelot in Dallas, and it breaks my heart that she did. But I, myself, and many others, many others, have created our own Camelots here. Have created our own Camelots. And like that veteran, my mother said, she did credit where credit is due. She said, watch for signs from God. And I think meeting that veteran with my friend Josh, who was with me when I buried Percy, and him telling me the story of the 11 Peppers, there's going to be more Camelots. But my question right now for me is, what does, the next Camelot look like? Like, what does that Camelot look like? Does it involve my family at all? Does it involve them opening up, their money, their love, their time, their attention, their partnership, and creating some, version of Camelot that we can all enjoy together? Or does it involve them, leaving me alone forever and never being a part of my life again? Ever taking all the sin that they can and going as far away as they can, taking the document that I will offer them to just, like, I want nothing from you ever again, complete disinheritance of everything ever, forever, give 25%, 50% to Michael, the soldier who, my oldest dream was to serve the country, join the Navy, join the Marines. My parents crushed that dream, just like they crushed my dream of being, with my one love in life, Laura. They didn't show up for us. They knew we were in trouble. They knew they had money. They could have shown up and saved that. They could have enjoyed the Camelot that I had with Percival. They'd have nothing of that. And, I will give them complete disinheritance. I will give them 2 deceasement letters based on, an hour of therapy focused on my relationship with each parent. Notes will be provided to, you, John, and you will write a letter in a cordial manner that, and that's all they will get. They will get 2 deceasement letters and a complete inheritance from me forever. No contact forever, nothing forever. We are all dead to each other. And, I would ask for a tithe that would fit on a single, U.S. paper currency, $1, $100. My friend Jared is such a good guy. My friend Jared is such a good fucking guy. You know what? If I asked him to for free, he would, as an artist, in his best way, the same way that he just like brought this piece into existence right before my eyes in like 5 minutes. And I watched him, and I'll treasure it forever. He would make a tithe for my parents. He would take a dollar bill, $100 bill. He'd wrap it, in some notebook paper, and they could write a tithe, and prayers and dreams for the future Camelot, the next Camelot, Camelot Due d'Amour, the Camelot 2 of love, and just leave me a tithe, a dollar bill, $100 bill, wrapped in notepad paper, and with them, their hopes and dreams and prayers and blessings for my new Camelot. But then they would take my, complete disinheritance, no money ever to me ever again, and my 2 deceasement letters, and they would take all of the sins and all of the hatred. Maybe there'd be a week of therapy. I tell them everything they did to me, how they fucked me over with serving my country, with loving my one true love, Laura, with never experiencing the Camelot that I created in Dallas for 10 years. They would take all of that sin. They would go through a week of intensive therapy with me in Dallas. They would take all of the sin, accept all of the responsibility, everything they did, and then they would run away to California. Never would we meet again. Never under any circumstances. They would take all the sin. They would run away. Take all the sin, run away to California. And I will be here, and I will build a second Camelot on my own. I will accept their tithe. I will treasure it the way I treasure, my little Percival puppy, paw that my friend made. I would treasure the tithes that Jared made, for my parents, for my second Camelot, and I would accept their tithe and their absence, and that's all I would accept from them. And I would ask that they accept 2 deceasement letters, and that we never have any contact ever again. That's where I am with them right now. Anything that wasn't that would look like pure, absolute honesty, candor. This is how much money we have. This is what, we would like to see you do with the second Camelot, something in real estate, rescue people's houses, like this deal I put together in Gladewater, also just pulled out of my asshole, in 30 seconds, do a good thing, be like the person that I want to be. Fuck, dude, I have a solid gold, sacred geometry, Vesca Pescus, Avalon, the sacred chalice, I have my, my switchblade, I have my, my belt buckle, I save, people's land and do the right thing by everyone all day long. I mean, it's who am I in life? I am a guy who hardcore, for real, IRL, in real life, I hardcore roleplay a Dungeons and Dragons paladin, IRL, in real life, every fucking day, every single thing that I do, every single thing that I do, oh no, it's not going to work. Oh, it's not going to work at all because of all the things forever. I can't do it. But that term sheet that sealed that deal where I saved that guy's land is just the latest example in 1,000 of me being hardcore D&D, paladin, IRL, to real people every single day in a real, genuine way. Just so many times, and 1,000 deals at Vibrant Real Estate, and just every one of them was just the right thing. But nobody cares. My parents don't give a shit about me. Why did you have me? Why did you fucking have me? Why would you bring me into existence only to crush my first dream, which was to command a vessel? I love Star Trek, the Navy, maybe encourage that. Maybe instead of Branson, we do, ROTC, and we encourage the military thing. My dad didn't think I could cut it, and my mom didn't want it, so they crushed my military dream over and over and over again. I had this beautiful dream with this beautiful girl, Laura, that still, embers burn today. The fucking ruby, on my belt buckle is a fucking burning ember for the love that I had for Laura. Everything was fine except nobody showed up. Her mother didn't show up. Her dad didn't show up. They were divorced. But my fucking parents had a union. They should have showed up with their money, their love, their attention to detail, their everything. They should have showed up in New York for a week, gotten us a condo, gotten us something, made it right, made it with their money, with their love, with their happiness, made it right. But they didn't. And the city just and you know, they gave me $10,000. How much fucking money did you spend on your son? The education, all the bullshit. $10,000 to move to New York City with my girlfriend who graduated a year earlier, and she was working in DC, and my idea to her boss that she told from me to her boss was to spend his final years making as much money as he could and leave from public to private sector. So what did he do? He go to Merrill Lynch and he took her with him, and she was making $100,000 a year. But you know, she's a fellow Jew. She has certain attitudes about money. There was no co-money yet, and I just graduated, and my parents gave me $10,000, and I didn't have any money, and I had some other money, and it got blown away in college, and I'm sorry, I'm a fuck up, and I made mistakes, and I can't hide them, and I got kicked out for a year, and I had a shitty GPA, and oh my God, I'm sorry, but you know what? Fuck, I'm in New York City. I'm in love with this girl. She is fucking doing great. You know, I have an Ivy League degree. Like, everything could have worked. You could have showed up, got us a condo, given me $100,000, nurtured our love. You know, been a couple of parents that were there for their kid and his love, and when we had problems, helped us, got therapy, showed up, worked with Laura's mother, got Amy up there. She would have showed up, given Amy $50,000, go help them, go stay up there, go make them happy, make it work, something. But I got nothing, just like everything else, nothing, with not even a single visit. My closest friend, Jared, who lives here, knows that my closest friend that lives here, Jared, my best friend that lives here, he knows you are a fucking piece of shit fucking couple. You've never showed up once. I meet his parents all the time. He has a terrible relationship with his parents, but you know what? They show up, they drive down in this beat up station wagon so they can see their kid and his love and their grandkid, and they show up. You've never showed up once. Not even one fucking time. He knows you're a piece of shit. All my friends here know you're a piece of shit. You haven't showed up one time for your kid. They don't know about all the other times you didn't show up. My love of commanding a vessel, the military, serving my country, that love, that dream that you crushed repeatedly over and over again for years. My dream of being with Laura, that you just did not nurture that into love, did not show up, made no attempt to save us or help us. It wasn't some sudden thing. I didn't fuck up. I didn't hit her. I didn't cheat on her. It was this slow descent into misery, and she left me. And there were so many times you could have said, no, I will not let this love descend into misery. I will show up. We will show up with our money and our power and our money and our experience and our love for you and our future daughter-in-law and our unborn grandchildren. You fucking assholes. You could have had grandchildren. You crushed their souls and let them just go away because you didn't show up to help. And you couldn't show up to enjoy my life in Dallas one time in 10 years. You couldn't show up one time in 10 years. So I'm going to write some stuff. John, I'm going to write some stuff to you. I'm going to pour my heart out on the sleeve. I'll do whatever you want. I will not have any contact with my parents for as long as you want. I'll meet with whatever therapist. I'll spend whatever money. I'll do whatever we can to figure this out. But I'm basically like, I want them to take all that. I want to do a week of therapy and dump all of my anger and hatred and everything into them. And then I want them to take this document that says I don't want any of their money ever. And I want them to take their letter to be read at their fucking funeral or whatever they want to, or shove it up your ass. I don't fucking care. Throw it in the toilet. I'm not going to read the fucking letter. I don't give a fuck. Take your get the fuck out of my life and go die. And I hope you're I don't know how to do this, but to look into your eye, I hope your fucking death. Send your soul's curses. You're too fucking dark. You can't show up for your kid and love your kid's souls straight to fucking hell for all of eternity. Is hope one for your eternal life is to burn in hell forever. You pieces of shit. Fuck me over. Can't be there for me at all, ever, in any way. With the shit I like, the shit I care about, the shit I want in my fucking life, the shit I love, that I want, that I care about in my fucking life. You can't show up, support me, help me. Millions, tens of millions, fucking dollars. Can't show up one fucking time for Percy. Can't fucking help me and Laura. Fucking therapist, sex therapist. There were things I needed to help. I could have with a 1 hour session. 1 hour session, sex therapist, a fucking $1 million condo, $100,000 in my bank account. You'd have fucking grandchildren. I'd be happy there. That version of Ashton could have been nurtured and existed. More lives could have created souls. You abandoned us. You left us in tragedy. I've never even looked at a girl and in real life after Laura and felt the same way. You fucking ruined that, but I still moved on. I created this business and this life, and Percival Puppy, this Camelot in Dallas, you couldn't show up one time to enjoy it. Couldn't show up one time to enjoy it. So the wishes that your fucking soul, because of these sins that you committed against your son, why did you have me? Why did you have me? Why would you make me? Why would you bring me into the world? I didn't ask to be here. I don't want to be here. Fucking die right now. I would fucking die right now. I would take Percy's body and I'd go somewhere as far as I could, and I would just find a little place for us to be together forever. And I would just pray to God God, don't hold this suicide against me. It's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. I just want to be with my bulldog soul in heaven forever. I want my 2 friends that were there with me at Percy's grave to take my house and all my things, all my stuff, all my money, everything. And I want them to live in the house with his daughter and her son. And maybe one day something happens between them. Maybe it's platonic. Maybe they both get partners. I don't know. I grew up in California. It's whatever. But you just live there, happy in my house. And I watch the happiness with my puppy in heaven. And we just watch that happiness. And me and Percy are just in heaven. And we watch Carolina and Josh. Carolina, an undocumented immigrant who doesn't even have the right to be here, and Josh, a guy who works the grill. But fuck, I trust either of them with anything I have. They're so happy with what they have. They don't want anything from me. They don't want any of my money, any of my shit. They don't give a fuck. They just want to be with me, and you know, I help where I can and do nice things. They like me. They say that I'm a good guy. Fucking go with me. Bury my dog. I would love to just watch from heaven with Percy's beautiful soul. You know, and I would watch them just be happy. Daniel, Minnie, you know, Josh and Carolina, they would just do things and they would just be happy. But a suicide, it's a cardinal sin. It's a mortal sin. It has to go somewhere. I would put it on my fucking parents. Take all the sin, my suicide sin, the bullshit, Carolina coming breaking into the country. Josh stole like $1,000 from his mother when he was a teenager. Mickey Mouse, fucking take the sins, all the sins. Take those sins. Take your sins. Take all of it. Go to fucking hell forever. Okay, it's you, Edward and Janice, right? Edward and Janice together in hell with all their sins forever. Edward and Janice in hell, all their sins forever, down in hell, right? Carolina, Josh, you know, Minnie, Daniel, the house with all the stuff that I have, all my worldly possessions, enjoying the happiness, making memories, just happiness, beautiful happiness on the mortal coil. And in heaven, it's just me and Percy just looking down on that. And if I could make that my celestial alignment, if that could be my reality, I can't even snap my fingers. I've been fucking sending so many nasty fucking things to people in the week. My hand doesn't fucking work anymore. But I would fucking make that my celestial reality. I would make it my celestial reality. And so, yeah, the hope is my parents' souls burn in hell forever because of what they've done to me. And they don't give a fuck. They won't show up. They won't give me any money. They won't give me any love, any attention, any presence, any care. But they want me to believe somehow in some way that they love me, that they care about me, that they think that I'm some fucking, like, what the fuck? You know, you couldn't just do this. You couldn't do something thoughtful and cool. You couldn't call one of my friends and say what would be thoughtful and cool. You couldn't call Carolina, and everybody knows each other, dude. You know, you call Carolina, you say, get with Jared, come up with something. Jared already did something, but he'd come up with something else for them. Jared would have come up with something. Jared would take their $100 tithe to my Camelot. This is our tithe. This is our hopes and dreams for your Camelot. We're going to take our sins. We're going to leave. We're not going to give you any inheritance. We're going to take the most brutal fucking deceasement, like, letters that they probably won't read and just throw away because it'll be so horrible, you know, like, and just go away, right? And Jared would be totally like, that's what should happen. But Jared would make the tithes. He would make whatever. If Carolina had called him and said, you know, Ashton's parents don't want to do, they want to do something nice and something that he'll treasure forever, Jared would have done it. Everybody would have done it. You know, you want to know what I got from my parents? I don't even. Hey, Carolina, where are the flowers? Did we throw the flowers away? Yes. Okay, well then you put them in the right place. Hey, so yeah, my you know, very close friend here, Carolina, John, you know, she made the right decision. Every gesture that has been made from Percy's very close, you know, going to do this right in The Godfather because and this is to you, Dad. Okay, you know. You don't appreciate this. You think they're fucking criminals. You don't get it. You think they're all pieces of shit. But they understand that a man who doesn't spend time with his family is not a man. And you don't spend time with your family. You don't give a fuck. You never spend time. That's why you are not a man. You are not a man like me, a Texas man who takes care of his family. Not a man like my best friend, Jared, takes care of his family. Grant takes care of his family. My best friend, my golden circle, Carolina, single mother, shows up, takes care of her family. She's, Vito Corleone would have so much more respect for fucking Carolina and Josh and every fucking person in my life than either of the two of fucking you pieces of shit. Okay? But this is all leading to one thing. The last request would be, honestly, just straight the fuck up. Honestly. Percival's passing was the most peaceful, blessed passing that ever there was, okay? And he's just in this beautiful little piece of heaven. He had the best passing, the most blessed, beautiful passing, the best passing that a bulldog could ever have. And I would hope that my parents have the equal and opposite. Darkness where there was light, and just hate where there was love, and just everything opposite, equal and opposite for them compared to Percy. And that's it. Goodbye. I'll send this to you. I'll show it to you somehow, John. I love you.